Hey everybody, it's Rosalind and I am back for another video, and I want to speak more in detail about the mental aspects of dealing with lupus, because I've spoken on the physical, and I want to speak more on how I've dealt with my emotions and how I dealt with the constant change that was going on, because a lot of people don't understand that when you have lupus, when you have something that really no one knows about, no one knows how to deal with, it takes a lot of energy and it puts strain on the mental aspect of your life, because you're trying to, one, take care of yourself, but you're also constantly having to explain to people what you're going through, because you're constantly getting questions, oh, but you don't look sick, or, you know, it can't be that bad, or just so many things. And it was so frustrating trying to explain what I was going through, even to family, people who were around me, friends. It was so hard because no one really got it. No one understood. And I dealt with so much. While battling lupus, I experienced many changes physically. I experienced weight gain, hair loss. My skin would break out at the most random times. I had rashes all over my body, sores all over my body. It would be difficult to breathe because I couldn't, because of my lungs were either not functioning correctly or something was going on. It took a lot for me to deal with. Many times there were moments where I just wanted to not live anymore because of the pain, and it was just so much to deal with. And I really didn't have anyone to talk to, even though my family was there for me, my friends were there for me, you know, I had people around me, but no one really understood what I was dealing with, because no one had ever gone through what I've gone through. I was alone a lot. Even when I was around people, I felt alone. I stayed in my room a lot, and even during college, I wouldn't really go out as much. I experienced trauma, and eventually I sought help for it. But in the beginning, I really didn't know how to deal with it. Again, I stayed by myself a lot, and I really just did a lot of praying. I tried to do a lot of mental work on my own, but a lot of it really wasn't beneficial, because I didn't know what I was doing. And again, I had never known anyone to go through what I was going through. So it wasn't like that I can just get up and go and speak with just anybody. So a lot of times I was just really trying to figure this thing out by myself. And it gotten to the point where it was so bad that I had all these different medications that weren't working. Either they were making me sicker, or I was just taking them for no reason. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to be normal, because I'd been dealing with this since I was like 11 or 12. So it was something that I was really ready to change, and I was tired of it. So, like I said, I considered committing suicide. I had these pain pills that I was going to take the whole bottle. I was going to do that. One day I considered just not taking any medication. I felt like if I didn't take any medication, you know, eventually my body was just going to give up. I really never liked taking medication anyway, so it was an easy way out for me. And I knew that it would just seem like it was from the illness, the reason why I was gone. So it wouldn't seem like I intentionally tried to do something. So there were many times where I considered really just giving up and taking my own life. But then I realized how many people would be hurt, what would be lost, because there's so much to me then this disease or this illness. And so I really had to come to terms with myself and think of everything that would happen if I went through with the process. So when I really sat down and I really thought about what I would be doing, I stopped myself and I just started to release and cry, and I just didn't want to do that to me, to my family, to my friends, to anyone that knows and loves me. I didn't want to do them like that. I didn't want them to lead them like that. So that's when I really decided, okay, I have to make some changes. I have to get better. I have to do something with my life. So that's when I decided that I was going to do my own thing. I started researching plant-based lifestyle. I started researching different alternatives other than the medications that I was receiving. And so once I started to take processed foods out of my diet, I started to take meat and dairy out of my diet, and I started to feel so much better. I felt like everything started to make sense. I felt like, so switching to the plant-based lifestyle has really helped me in so many ways. The first shift that I really saw was I had a clear train of thought. Like, I wasn't foggy with the lupus and taking all that medication. I was fatigued all the time. I was tired. I was foggy. I really couldn't concentrate, and it was really taking over my life, and it really took control of how I was doing in school, because I wasn't really doing that well in school because I had all these other things that I was worried about. I was worried about my health. I was worried about trying to pay bills and trying to work and still trying to really figure out what it was that what I was here for. Like, what was the whole purpose of me dealing with this illness? Why was I dealing with this illness? What was the purpose? And so once I switched and once I got rid of all those processed foods and foods that weren't good for me, I really had a clearer state of mind, and I really felt like myself. I really felt like things became clearer for me, and I wasn't so foggy in the brain. I wasn't tired. I had energy. And over the course of 5 years, all this took place, and I really started to see a better side of me. Like, I felt better physically, I felt better emotionally, and I even felt better spiritually, because I really felt like I could do whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't tired. I had way more energy, and things just started to get better. Another thing that I started to notice, that I was really conscious and aware of what I was doing to myself, and I started to really love myself more. I started to drink less. At one point, I was kind of addicted to prescription drugs, so I really paid attention to how much medication I was taking, and I was really paying attention to if I was eating, if I was emotionally eating, or if I was eating because I was hungry. Because there was a point in my life where I ate because I was upset or because I didn't feel good, and food was my comfort. And so I really had to shift my mind to really sit back and think and be present in the moment, and really dwell on, am I doing this because I'm really truly hungry, or am I doing this because I want to get rid of a certain feeling or a certain emotion? And so again, switching to a more whole food lifestyle and diet, I noticed that I truly began to care for me, love me, and nurture me. And I didn't worry about what anybody else thought or anybody else was doing. I focused on what Rosalind needed and what Rosalind wanted at that time. And with me loving myself more, I started to love other people more. I was able to love other people because I was filled with so much love and so much gratitude that I was able to reciprocate what I was experiencing with myself. Because ultimately, you can't love anybody else before you love yourself. You truly, truly, truly have to love yourself and nurture yourself before you can go out and find somebody else to love. You're only able to give what you have to offer. So if you don't have love to offer, you can't give love. So again, switching to this lifestyle really has changed me in a way that I never would have thought possible, and it's really been beneficial to me in the long run. During this journey, not only did I started to eat better, but I started to pray more. I started to exercise more because I felt good, so I was able to exercise and I was able to move and not feel so much pain. I was still in pain, but I wasn't in as much pain as I would be. So not only did switching to a plant-based diet help me physically, but it helped my mental, spiritual, and emotional self. I've gotten more into meditation over the past 5 years. I've gotten more into reading different types of books. I've gotten more into being me, being my true self, which is my fun, loving self that enjoys to be around friends and family, the person that likes to have fun. I've gotten back into playing again and being happy again, truly, genuinely happy, because there was a time in my life where I was not happy at all with anything that was going on. And I was so frustrated and I just didn't understand. But once I got to the point to where things started to shift and change for me, I really saw the benefits mentally and emotionally. I'm not as unstable as I used to be. There's still things that I have to work on because it's been 15 years or longer since I've been dealing with this disease and this illness, and I'm just now getting to the point to where I am fully functional and that I have, and where I am stable enough to function around other people, and where I feel comfortable with myself, where I actually love myself and I actually feel good about myself. And again, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and it's a process and it's a journey, and I feel like everyone should experience this because it's the best thing ever. When you truly, truly, truly love yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, what anybody else does. It's you and it's God. When you're at your God-like self, you are at your best. And I feel like that right now I am at my best. And it's only going to get better from here. So thank you for, again, supporting me, for being a part of this journey as I continue to share what I've learned over the years and the changes that I've experienced with switching over to a plant-based diet. I'm going to continue to share with you all the benefits and continue to pour out to you all, because I know that for me, there wasn't any help. I felt like there wasn't any help when it came to people with lupus. So I want to be that help for you. So even if you're not dealing with lupus, I want to help you to get to a healthier, better state in your life. So see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video, and comment if you have experienced anything similar to this when shifting your diet or changing your diet. Let me know if you've experienced any mental shifts in your life and what happened when you did that. All right? Talk to you soon.